Let's see how the handheld camera works. So I'm back. I decided to do another show. I just listened to my last Bobby's World from yesterday, and the outpouring of support from all of you was so tremendous. I felt it was my public service and obligation to do another one. And to share with you, I'm feeling a little bit better today. And I'd like to think that talking with you all had something to do with that. So keep getting me to feel better. Appreciate it. Looks like I am slowly on the mend, and that the infection's getting better, my toes getting better, and I've been looking forward to this moment. And of course, I'm already thinking about, okay, can I work now? And I'm gonna try it, I think, because an Instacarter's got to do what an Instacarter's got to do. But I wanted to share before I left that I really want to get better at coping with my thoughts. And I know that pretty much everybody I talk to in my life has some kind of trouble with their mental on-off switch and filtering and parsing through the weeds to get to the stuff that's underneath. And I really don't want to say when I talk. I used to be really bad at that, and now I've gotten much better. That's kind of like what it was like. But being a professional broadcaster, I had to let that go. Now I do use "and" a lot, and I do "and" to bridge a thought instead of going like or some of my other vocal tics. Back to the subject. In my dealings with my anxiety, I've obviously tried lots of things, drugs being a primary one during my adult life. Today will be the 5th day that I am not smoking, not doing anything. And our week with AQ really was a drug fest. I mean, she's a stoner. And she was the stoner girl after my own heart, in the sense of she would never say no, and I certainly would never say no either. And it was fun, and we had a good time. And I knew even in the course of it, even towards the end, that when she left, it was probably not going to feel the same to smoke, and it didn't. And then, of course, I had to deal with the realization that my toe injury, which I was not taking very good care of while she was here, had really gotten pretty serious. So when I discovered that I had this infection, and I got the paperwork from the ER that told me what to do and what to watch for, and mentioned smoking, and of course I I told them I had diabetes. I thought about that. Was I going to tell them? Because the minute you go to a doctor or a hospital or ER or whatever, urgent care, tell any healthcare professional you have diabetes, and you get moved from one category to another. And it's immediate, and it totally changes the mindset. And I get it. And there are people who not only are there to treat you and take care of you, which of course knowing about the diabetes makes it important, but there's liability issues, and it's doing no harm. And while I might not agree with the practices and procedures and the way that American healthcare looks at the body, I like the people in the system. I mean, I was married to one for 25 years. I wrote about healthcare for a long time, interviewed doctors, was an editor of a healthcare publication at one point, and was dealing with on a daily basis and living with a woman who had a lot of health issues. So I spent a lot of time in hospitals, a lot of time with doctors, not as a patient, but as the loved one of a patient. And, I have my bugaboos that are more personal when it comes to healthcare. I had childhood asthma when I was growing up. I didn't call it childhood asthma. I didn't hear it described as childhood asthma, but at one point, must have been in my early teens, I remember hearing that there was something called childhood asthma, that you could actually outgrow it. And I remember so clearly thinking, that's me. I am going to outgrow this. I was going to hospitals like once a year. Back in the day, they treated asthma, they put you in an oxygen tent for the first couple days. And what that meant was I had this heavy plastic surrounding me and I guess liquid oxygen being pumped in, which of course made everything wet and distorted the view that I was seeing of the world around me. Hated it. Just hated it. So it was instilled at an early age. Now I realize that it doesn't do a lot of good to have these prejudices when they can personally impact you and your life, and in my case right now, my health. Doesn't mean I'm going to rush with open arms to healthcare. However, I realize that at 63, I have to prepare for the next phase of my life. Phases. And what does that mean? And how do I approach it? And what do I need to change? And that's what I'm doing. This show is, I guess, about that. Hopefully about other fun things. But life isn't always easygoing. And I have learned enough from my time personally that these moments of disruption and fear and uncertainty and, well, we've all been there. And we don't like being there. And yet, 7 months ago, I was involved in a car accident. My car was totaled. I was scared. Did not know what was going to happen. I already lost one of my jobs a couple months before. Had some other stuff going on. It was a really, really low time. And through it, I told myself, just take it one step at a time, do what you gotta do, and try not to judge it. And I did that, and it wasn't easy, it was scary and uncertain. And 7 months later, I find myself here. It's a good life. And look forward to what's next. Thanks for listening.